Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we explore it's time to stop worrying. Your connection is stronger than you think. In an age of constant connectivity, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the pressure to stay constantly in touch. Whether it's through social media, messaging apps, or even traditional communication channels, the sheer volume of information we are exposed to can make us feel like we're never really off or disconnected from others. And when you add personal concerns or a nagging feeling of disconnection, it's no wonder that worry creeps into our minds, making us question whether our relationships are as strong as we think. But here's the truth. Your connection to the people and world around you is much stronger than you realize. In fact, this feeling of disconnection, whether it's with others or even with ourselves, is often just an illusion created by our overactive minds. So let's take a step back, look at things from a broader perspective, and find ways to embrace the strength and stability of the connections that bind us all together. Understanding connection. Before diving into how to stop worrying, it's important to understand what connection truly means. At its core, connection is about the bonds we form with others, whether it's family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. It's the emotional link that we share, one that goes beyond surface-level interactions and taps into our need for belonging, support, and understanding. In the modern world, these connections can take many forms: phone calls, texts, social media posts, or face-to-face conversations. Yet, despite the variety of ways to stay connected, many people still feel a sense of loneliness or isolation. This feeling may arise from not hearing from a close friend in a while, not getting a response to a message, or perhaps worrying about the perceived distance between oneself and others. However, this perception is often based on misconceptions or our own fears, rather than on the true state of the relationship. We tend to interpret silence or less frequent communication as a sign of disconnection, when in reality, these moments may not necessarily reflect the health of the relationship. Just because someone doesn't immediately respond to a message doesn't mean they're not thinking of you or that they don't care. The power of emotional resilience. One of the main reasons we may feel disconnected is that we haven't developed emotional resilience. Emotional resilience refers to our ability to adapt to difficult situations and recover from setbacks. In the context of relationships, it helps us weather the ups and downs of our interactions, whether it's a misunderstanding with a friend or a distant period between meaningful conversations. When we lack emotional resilience, we tend to worry more about the future of our relationships. We become fixated on what's not happening or the fear of potential negative outcomes. This preoccupation can lead to unnecessary anxiety, making us question whether our connections are strong enough or if they will stand the test of time. But building emotional resilience can help us stay grounded, knowing that relationships are fluid and change over time. People's lives evolve, schedules shift, and priorities change, but the underlying bond may remain intact. Emotional resilience encourages us to trust that even if we are not always in constant contact, the relationship can continue to thrive. The role of communication. Another key component of connection is communication. And while it's true that consistent and open communication is vital in any relationship, it's also important to recognize that communication comes in many forms. In today's fast-paced world, people are often bombarded with messages, notifications, and reminders. In this constant stream of information, we may feel as though we're not receiving the attention we need or deserve. But the reality is that communication doesn't always have to be constant to be meaningful. The quality of communication is just as important, if not more so, than the frequency. Overcoming the fear of disconnection. One of the main culprits behind our worries about connection is fear. Fear of being abandoned, misunderstood, or forgotten can easily take hold, especially in times of uncertainty. This fear is often rooted in past experiences, insecurities, or even societal pressures that reinforce the idea that we must constantly be on in our relationships. However, it's crucial to challenge these fears. When we allow fear to guide our perceptions, we start to distort reality. The truth is that relationships aren't always perfect, and they will go through natural ebbs and flows. Sometimes we may not hear from someone for a while, or we may experience a lull in communication. But that doesn't mean the connection is weakened. In fact, it can often mean that both parties are simply navigating life's demands, and it's a temporary phase. The influence of social media on perception. Another layer to the worry around connection comes from the impact of social media. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok provide us with constant updates about other people's lives, but they also contribute to a skewed perception of reality. When we scroll through the curated posts and highlight reels of others, it's easy to believe that everyone else is constantly connected, happy, and thriving in their relationships. This can make us feel inadequate, or like our connections aren't as strong as they should be. We might compare our relationships to what we see online, forgetting that social media often only showcases the most polished moments. The reality is that everyone faces challenges in their personal lives, and no one's relationships are immune to ups and downs. The science behind connection. Scientific research also supports the idea that our connections are stronger than we realize. Studies have shown that social bonds are not only important for emotional well-being, but are also linked to better physical health. Human beings are wired for connection. According to studies on social support and attachment, people with strong social connections tend to live longer, experience less stress, and have better mental health outcomes. The presence of close relationships has been shown to reduce the levels of cortisol, the hormone associated with stress, in the body. Additionally, having a reliable support network can help us cope with difficult times and provide a sense of belonging. Even when we don't actively engage with those around us, the knowledge that we have people who care about us can be a powerful source of strength. Strengthening your connection. 1. If you're feeling disconnected or worried about the strength of your relationships, there are ways to rebuild and strengthen your bonds. Here are a few tips to help you feel more connected. 2. Focus on quality, not quantity. Instead of worrying about how often you talk to someone, focus on the depth and authenticity of your interactions. A heartfelt conversation or a shared experience can strengthen a relationship more than countless brief check-ins. 3. Communicate openly and honestly. If you're feeling disconnected, reach out and express how you feel. Open communication can clear up misunderstandings and help both parties feel heard and valued. 4. Practice patience and empathy. Understand that everyone's life is busy, and sometimes people may not be able to respond as quickly as you'd like. Practice patience and remind yourself that relationships take time and effort. 5. Challenge negative thoughts. If you find yourself worrying that your connection is weakening, challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself if there's any evidence to support your fears, or if they are just assumptions based on past experiences. 6. Nurture your own well-being. Building emotional resilience starts with taking care of yourself. When you feel grounded and confident in your own worth, it becomes easier to trust that your relationships are secure, even during times of silence or distance. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates. See you in the next video.